Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my quick impressions of Against the Storm. This game hits Steam Early Access and Epic Store on the 1st of November and it'll set you back around about $20. The reason I'm keeping it quick is just because of that and the fact they're going to add loads of stuff in. They've got a roadmap and yeah, I don't want to give full impressions as yet. So this game is a dark fantasy city builder where you must rebuild civilization in the face of apocalyptic rains as the Queens of Viceroy lead humans, beavers, lizards, and harpies to reclaim the wilderness. It is also a roguelite as well. So the roguelite, basically, as you play in each level, you will have choices of rosters of build and blueprints and perks that can help your society thrive, or of course, bring it to its knees. So it adds a unique element there. So yeah, one thing I think this game does really well is the challenge. It's not too challenging, but it's also not frustrating as well. Because of that roguelike element, each level becomes almost like a puzzle, and you really have to think of your choices and what will give you that greatest chance of success. As choosing the wrong card or getting a really bad choice of cards, it can force you down a different route. So you might have to try something new that you weren't thinking of or change your playstyle. And I really like that about this game because some RTSs, especially maybe like They Are Billions, you just play it the same way every time. So it's really nice to see that element in here. Next up, I really enjoyed the exploration in this game. So basically how it works is you go through the level, there's loads of trees, you chop them down. But in between the trees are things called glades. There's like good glades and forbidden glades. The good glades will have some sort of resource in. The forbidden glades will contain some sort of curse, some sort of issue, and really rare or decent resources. So it's that risk versus reward. You're like, ooh, do I go and cut them trees down to get that glade, or do I leave it for later on? And you've always got that decision because you have to think, can you handle that event? Could it devastate my village? Could it kill everyone? Will the resources be worth it? So I think that's just a really great part of the game. However, I would say on the flip side of that, sometimes these glade events, even the ones closest to your base, can just be devastating a bit too much. And I think maybe the difficulty in resources should get better or more tiered as you go out from your village. Because to defeat these glades or these curses, you have to have different stuff. So you have to take some supplies there. And if your village hasn't been around for long enough, you won't have higher tiered stuff. And then you can't deal with the glades. So yeah, I think that's about the only negative I would say on that. Supply chains, I'd sum it up as you have to build a village with whatever you're given and make it work. And I think the depth here is really good. It's not trivial. There's loads of different recipes. And picking the blueprints that are going to suit that better is just very rewarding because you're like, okay, I better pick that building because I've got that one already. Again, it adds that puzzle element because you have to plan and think about what situation you're in or where you might be heading, and then pick a building that's gonna or blueprint that's gonna work for you. You're encouraged to put together whatever you can to survive, and it's really boosted by that element, I think. Also, what I liked is if you click on a resource or look at one or find a recipe, it tells you what buildings are needed to do that. A lot of city builders don't do that, and you're left confused what is needed for what. This does it all for you. So I think the supply chain, resources, and all that building aspects of your resources works really. Now moving on to some of the negatives I found. The game progression, because the whole point is you build your village and then leave it once you've completed all the orders. I found myself never going back to the villages, so I kind of was like, well, what was the point of doing all that work? So yeah, I think that needs changed or some reason to go back. The order system, so it gives you options like pick this or pick this, which order do you want to complete, what mission, what objective. However, I just found myself picking the easiest one, the one I was going to work on completing. Because of the roguelike element, you can't guarantee you could complete one because it depends what else you could get. So you more pick ones that are just going to be easier to do so that you can guarantee your blueprints. You can maybe do something in the game because otherwise you could stump yourself or soft lock it in a mission. So I think that needs changed. The roguelike itself is good because it does offer unique challenges to each level, but I wouldn't say it offers much diversity in the playstyle. One of the main characteristics of roguelikes is your kind of incremental power gain. So you'll be like, okay, well, that builds on that. But I wouldn't say it does build on that. Each village should give the opportunity to unlock perks for the next village, I think. So say, for example, you're like, okay, I'm struggling in the farming department on that last level. Right, this one I'm going to concentrate on farmers and building up something there so that I can then incrementally power to better builders or something, something along them lines. I think it needs to work on your previous village to be a little bit better. Yeah, so I think that's kind of all I have to say. I will revisit this game at some point and check it out and see what changes and stuff have been made. I've been burnt a lot on city builders in the past. This one, though, seems to have a super active developer. The publisher's really good as well. I've played a few of their games, and I think it might be going somewhere. So really keep your eye on it. If you're not going to get it now, wishlist it. And I'm going to leave that one right there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you on the next one. Goodbye.